Hello friends, I am Raphael Santi, or Raffaello Sanzio, an Italian artist, painter, draftsman, and architect of the Umbrian Florentine, and then Roman school. I am one of the representatives of the art of the High Renaissance, or Roman classicism of the early 16th century. I was born in a small town in Italy in 1483. My father was a painter and my mother was a singer. I have 3 siblings. I grew up in a house full of art supplies. Since my father was an artist, I was always interested in art, and I would spend hours drawing and painting. When I was 15, my family moved to Florence. I began my career as a painter there, but soon I was hired by a wealthy family to paint their portrait. This was my first big break, and it led to more commissions and recognition. In 1508, I was invited by a famous artist to come to Rome and help him with a project. I spent a year in Rome and created some of my most famous works, including the School of Athens. When the project was finished, I returned to Florence. But I continued to get commissions from the Pope and other members of the clergy. I became very successful and wealthy. I was known for my beautiful paintings of the Madonna and Child. I also painted many portraits of popes and cardinals. I had a studio full of assistants who helped me with my work. Despite my success, I was never married. I had a long-term relationship with a woman named Florentine, but we were never married. She bore my child, but I was not able to provide for her or my child financially. It was a difficult time in my life, and I felt a lot of guilt. I was born again. In 1520, I began to experience symptoms of a disease that was spreading through Italy. At first I thought I would be able to paint through the pain, but I soon realized that I was too sick to continue working. I spent my last years in a monastery outside of Rome, where I died in 1520. Throughout my life, I had many passions and hobbies. I loved to paint, and I was also interested in architecture and sculpture. I collected beautiful objects, and I had a great appreciation for nature. I was also a devout Christian, and I found inspiration in my faith. Looking back on my life, I am proud of my accomplishments as an artist. I was able to create beautiful works of art that are still admired today. I also made a difference in the lives of those around me through my charity and my kindness. If I could give one piece of advice to my younger self, it would be to take better care of my health. I worked myself very hard, and I think that contributed to my illness and my early death. I would also tell myself to enjoy the present moment and not worry so much about the future. I spent much of my life worrying about things that never happened, and I think if I could have just relaxed and enjoyed the ride, I would have been a lot happier. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe and share the link with your friends. Write in the comments what you know about this person.